Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Play Frugal Reviews. Tonight we're going to look at X-Morph Defense, a tower defense game from the good folks over at X-Horror Studios, the same guys who brought you Zombie Driver, for those of you who either may have heard of it or have played the game. So they've got a decent background there. And we were able to pick up this game for a grand total of $12.19 from Steam. That's the main game plus the 3 DLC, and you can see them here on the screen. Survival of the Fittest, European Assault, and Last Bastion. So that as a complete pack, well, like I said, it was $12.19 for us. Now, this game came out in August of 2017, and at $12, it's a little bit on the high side for us because we like to keep it around that $10 or below mark. So it's going to have to show some really good gameplay for us to consider this a good value. So we'll have to see what we find when we go inside. Now, we've been playing through a little bit on the story campaign, and with the reviews, I don't like to drag you through a whole bunch of it. So I just want to pick up one of the locations that we've been through. Basically, what you have here is you are an alien who has come to this planet to extract resources. Unfortunately, you didn't expect intelligent life. Some would argue humans may or may not qualify, depending on the given day and who we're talking about. But in this case, this intelligent life, humans are putting up a resistance and do not want the aliens, surprisingly, to take their resources. So when the aliens land in a particular location, the humans attack them, and you need to defend your core, which is attempting to get established so it can start extracting resources. And you have to place towers and whatnot to try to defend that core throughout this. And like with many other tower defense games, you get a certain number of waves per location, and you have to defeat them to move on to the next one. For instance, in this one, you start off in South Africa. So just so we can give you a flavor of what it's like, though, without running you through all the tutorial stuff, let's start off in Canada. That is the second location. But you can see South Africa, Canada, Great Britain, Argentina, Germany, Australia, Russia, USA, Nigeria, Mexico, Hawaii, Egypt, China, Japan, and that's just through the base game. So you've still got European Assault here. There we go. European Assault and Last Bastion, as well as the Survival to go through. So there's a lot of content here that we can go and play with, but I just want to give you guys a taste of it because I'm not sure that me describing it is going to really do justice to the experience. So let's go in here and let's take a look. All right, so here's what you've got is you've got the towers that you'll set, but you also have a small fighter ship. Now that fighter ship has a variety of capabilities, and in fact the reasons that this is called X-Morph is because that is the name that humans have given to the aliens, because their towers can transform from one wave to the next, and your ship can transform to various forms. We'll take a look at that. You can primarily shoot basically laser shots, plasma shots, excuse me. You can have missiles, which are air-to-air. Plasma is air-to-air or air-to-ground. Lasers, which is really effective against your larger targets. And bombs, which is strictly ground targets. But it's a pretty good area effect type of weapon. But beyond that, each one of these weapons also has a secondary weapon, which can be like, for instance, with the laser, you have the gravitational singularity, and you can see there in the screen, you can create basically a mini black hole, which does a great deal of damage, sucks in the opposing vehicles in the radius of the singularity. And obviously that's a really good tool there. And then you have the defense matrix, which is an additional ability, which is basically to defend the ship while it's charging that weapon. But there are other choices with the plasma. You have the charged plasma beam. You have the EMP blast, which will blast fighters out of the air. And then you have the dark matter bomb. So you can see there's a large variety of weapons as you can see, unlock as you go through them. So you don't start off with all that. You start off with the basic plasma, and then you can add on these as you go. And then you have towers. You start off with your basic plasma tower, and you can have flamethrowers, which are good against infantry, artillery, laser towers, and then anti-aircraft. But then again, you can now further go down. Your flamethrower, it can become a shockwave tower, a flame artillery tower, a rail gun, and that thing is pretty impressive to look at. Let me let you watch a playthrough here real quick of it as the fire, as you just devastates a whole column of vehicles each time it fires. Then you have the anti-air missile tower, and as like I said, just like in the screen, you can see these things in operation. And then the anti-air laser towers. So each one of these is obviously, the best against one particular type of combatant. Some are multi-purpose, like the laser towers, but they'll tell you, for instance, with each wave. In Canada, for example, you can look here at the bottom. There'll be some small ground forces, medium ground forces, no large, no jumpers, no artillery, and then some limited amount of air support, no bombers, no boss on this one. Because like I said, I just wanted to give you a quick feel for it rather than try to drag you through it. I'd like to save the longer playthroughs for the Let's Play series. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, we do want to go ahead and proceed. And here we go. All right, just a little tip on ghost mode, which is how you place your towers, and you can go from place to place. But you'll see that when we get this set up. And in fact, I found that a lot of my playtime with this game is actually setting up the towers, because one of the unique pieces about this game is that when you set up two towers, if they are close enough together, you can set up an electric fence between them, and when you do, that will force the enemies to reroute. So when they have, let me be quiet.
After finishing the mission in this room, prepare to defend the Harvester Core.
The aliens have landed in the outskirts of the city. Our main forces aren't ready yet. We're sending in a small reconnaissance force.
Okay, and what you see here below is the Harvester Core, which you'll have to defend. And you can see here's our fighter ship. And now I like to play it with the controller, but you can use either mouse and keyboard or controller. Either works really well. I just happen to be more comfortable with the controller myself. But you can switch forms here. This is, you see, that is the plasma. And those are missiles, which are air-to-air. The laser, which is good against large ground targets like tanks, things like that. And then the last form is... does the bombing, and you can see here, as you can see, it's a pretty effective weapon here. I like to use the laser a lot. It's my favorite. But in any case, now you see the little circle orbiting. That is an add-on that I've earned through gameplay. Basically, it helps also do attacking, but what we've got here is, you can see these various streets. You can see the dotted lines here. This is going to be our paths of attack, and they can't go through buildings. They are restricted, much like we are now. One of the things that is kind of fun here is that you can actually, with the dark matter bombs, actually knock buildings down. to block paths. In fact, let's see if we can. Let's find something that's out of the way so it won't cause us. Let's see if we can get a building to fall down here. Switch over to. Let's see this one. Yeah, there we go. Let's see what we can do. All right, there we go. Oh, she's teetering. Let's try her again. All right. All right, let's try. This one, she doesn't want to come down, but we'll have some fun with it. There we go. There's the building knockdown we were looking for. All right. And you can see as the building came down, now it has blocked that route, and the aliens can no longer go that way. So you can use the knocking down of targets strategically. And in fact, what we might do is let's go ahead and knock this one down. Let's see if we can get this one to fall the right way. And we're using, this is the dark matter bomb. All right. Oh, there we go. That was what we're talking about. All right, let's knock this one down. So, like I said, it's a great mechanic. I love the mechanic. There we go. And you can see now the aliens will have to reroute going around. So now we've forced them to go this way. Then they come down. And normally they would come right in through this core. But we can reroute them even further by placing some towers. So let's go ahead and let's get a couple towers placed and show you how that works. So we'll place a tower here. Just a standard, well, you know what? Let's have fun with it. Let's see about placing a railgun, because I just love the railguns. They're pretty cool. All right. We're going to place a railgun. We'll also place just a standard laser tower. All right, now you see the lines that go from one tower to the next. That is going to be your potential electric fence. And so what we'll do is we're going to activate that. All right, now you see now that has now become impassable. Now there are some troops which can jump those electric fences, but we don't have any of those particular ones in this particular location. But those are dealt with with specialized towers. But you see now they had to route this way, but that's still not long enough for me. I want to send them even further away. So there we go. Let's reroute him even further. And we'll just use our straight laser towers here. And there we go. All right, now see we've routed them even further away. Now we can have even more fun with them and force them. Let's see here. How do we want to do this? Because what will happen is if I just block this, you know, I can block this one. Because otherwise, what will happen is they'll reroute through here. So I'm just trying to strategize here. I've got, you see, 4 tower units left. So I want to make sure that we're being smart about how we use them. What would be the best routing to do that? I think we can do, let's put one here. Okay, we might have to move him a little bit. Oh, okay. So once we get a wall fence up, we'll be fine. All right. And we'll put the other one here. And we'll make him just another laser, 'cause that's fine. And we'll put up a fence between them. All right, now see, once again, we force them to go even further south. And then what we can do is reroute them slightly even further. And we can go see how far we can stretch this wall out. Okay. And I think we're about at the limit. Nope, we can get one more. Up. That's it. Okay. There we go. Now. There we go. All right, so what we have done, take a look at this, is we have enemies coming in from this way. In fact, I'll show you there's tanks and some armed vehicles. And then from over here, we have some trucks. They're coming in from two different directions. We block this way with the building, forcing them both into the same path. Then here, because we had knocked down that building and fell across this wall, we had to let them come down through here, but that would have been another place that we could block them off had we not decided to knock down that building. But then we put in the rerouting towers here, forcing them out to go around. Now, it will not let you block off all access. You cannot block all the paths to your base or to your core. And it'll, if you try to put up a fence to block it, it will tell you not available. But so far, so we've got our towers placed, and let's go ahead and start the wave. Now let's get back into laser mode, and you can see how this works.
Light ground forces on site. Commencing attack. Tanks joining the attack.
Air support experiencing heavy losses.
All right. Now I'm eliminating this group here, but I'll let this other group, because I've got kind of an unfair advantage because I do have the more advanced weaponry here. But let me let you look, see if you can watch there's the railgun at work. And isn't that just a lovely thing? And like I said, I'm kind of cheating. It's one of the earlier missions, but I've got advanced weaponry. But I just want to let you see it work. That railgun took a little bit to earn, so it took a while. Like I said, I'm just backing off here, keeping them in view. Well, but just so you can see, there's the column coming through. And they're shooting at me. Oh, more. But because we've routed them around and we've got the towers, we are handling them pretty easily. Okay. I'm going to take out this air support. That railgun's pretty nasty business. You can see it's taking out most of their... between that and the... there we go. In fact, now we've completed the wave.
Have already fortified their positions. They are beginning to transform the terrain near their base. It's the same invasion pattern we observed in Africa. We have to keep the aliens from expanding their influence.
Okay, so we'll do one more wave, just so you can see that how you can change things between waves. Because what they've done here is they've added in an additional entry point. Now, it just so happens to be someplace we're already routing them through. But we'll want to add more towers coming through here, because now, rather than having to run this gauntlet of towers we had set up before, it's going to have a kind of a free run. Now I'm feeling confident based on what we saw that these towers through here are fine, but we're definitely going to need some work here in terms of trying to slow them down. And I think the first thing we can do is, again, let's set up another one of those railguns, because I love me some railguns. There we go, and we'll set it up right here. All right, because he got a free shot. He's got a free shot, a long distance there, because you see the railgun's going to shoot a straight beam, so it needs a good runway, or it can shoot down this way if necessary. And then what we'll do is, let's see here. What should we do? Let's make just a straight laser tower here. And we'll connect that. And okay, see, it's the last path block, so it won't let me send that, create that electric fence there. I was just trying to make sure I can show you that. And so what we'll do, though, is we can block them one way or the other to make them go around where we're going. So let's go here, and it should let us do that one. Okay, a little bit too far. You gotta be okay. See the light blue, if you block it off so much they won't let it go through, but oh, we still got to go a little bit more. Oh, you know why? Because I set him so far out. That's what the problem is. Let's move him one step in. Now it'll let us do that. And here we go. Question is, which way do we want to make him run? Let's see how far out we can go. There you go. Okay, there's my limit here. It's like 10 squares, I think is the limit, because I've improved the electric fence. Usually it starts off the game at 8. So let's see here. All right, so we've got that. We still got 3 towers left to go, so we can either amp up the towers that we have, or we can do some more funky stuff with them. And just for grins and giggles, let's do some more funky stuff. Let's see what we can do here. Now you can see where it's turned red. It will not let you build in those locations. But what we can do is, well, I'll move him. Let's move this tower. All right. There. We'll move this tower here. Move him down. There we go. And set up the electric fence. Now we forced him around. Now I can't set up anything here, but let's see if it'll let me do this. I think it might be a bridge too far here. Okay, well, we can do this. This should let us do. All right. I think we're going to end up blocking. But what I can do is, there we go, and force them again to detour. And let's see if it'll let me do this. No. So I got a little bit. Yes, we heard you. Oops. And if we hit the right buttons. There we go. Alright, so we've moved them around a little bit. Like I said, just because we can. I will show you. Let's go ahead and turn this one into some artillery, because that'll be a lot of fun. So anything gets past the rail guns is going to run into an artillery barrage, and that'll be the limit of what we have. Okay, so here's what we've got. Same thing you can see on the mini map. We're going to funnel all those guys back past the rail guns still, and these guys coming through here are going to pass through one rail gun, a laser, which is kind of a lighter version of the railgun. Then we've got the artillery, and just to show you what kind of range the artillery has, you see the extension of that circle goes all the way out to here. So they're going to be under fire as soon as they come out. All right, I think we are ready to go. Laser's ready, and let's go.
Light mobile squad reporting. Advancing to target rapidly.
Oh, it's in the Air Force.
Gunship squadron destroyed.
Oh, poor gunships. You got to feel bad for their families, but
The hit is coming.
all right. Yeah, they always seem so confident. All right, we got these guys coming through. Since they have the shortest path, let's go here. I know the railgun's going to do his work, but
Gunships attacking the alien.
can't hurt to help the towers out a little bit.
Alien fire.
You think? You think? Oh, now we got bigger tanks coming through here. You can see by the bigger red squares. And we're going to help this railgun do its job. Standing here. And all right, so we got some planes coming down south here. And we'll just shoot them out of the air. All right. Now let's see. Let's see if we can get this thing to fire. I don't know if anybody's going to make it past this railgun. But we'll stop shooting. Just to give them a fighting chance at least. Because that's the kind of sportsman that we are. Oh. Got some jets here. We'll let the towers take them out. We'll just fly around avoiding them. Okay. And just kind of spectate. Yeah, they're not getting past it.
Gunship ops team ready to begin mission.
No, you're not. You're done.
Significant reinforcements have just arrived. I'm opening a new attack front on the western side of the city. I also received confirmation that new super heavy tank prototypes are already on their way and should be joining the battle soon.
The battle zone has been expanded.
Okay, now see what they did here, and again, we're not going to go all the way through that. I don't want to bore you guys with the review, but you can see what they've done is they expand the map. Now you've got to reposition your towers to funnel this new group perhaps into the other group if you can. Like, for example, looks like maybe if we blew out this wall, we might be able to make them connect. I don't know. I'd have to sit and think about it, and I don't want to make you guys wait while I do that. But I think it gives you a really good flavor of what the game is all about. The graphics, the voice acting. I think that it really they've really done a really incredible job of this. As you can see, the graphics on the fighter and on the towers and whatnot are really spot on. The game's only 2017, so it's not outdated really by any means. And look, even got nice wind blowing through the trees and all that stuff. So very, very happy with that, and especially like I said, $12 with all the DLC. So it is over the $10 mark, so we're going to hit them just a tad on the value, but because it really is a lot of fun. I've got about 16 hours in at this point, and as you saw or you may have seen while I was setting up, I haven't been through even the main campaign all the way through yet, and that was only just my first run through on the easy mode. We really haven't even got into all the different possibilities. So, I mean, you're talking probably, I'm going to guess by the time you go through easy, medium, hard, maybe 100 plus hours of gameplay here. So I don't think that is I would say that is definitely not bad value. I'm trying to find a good way to phrase it, and I utterly failed. So, but I think you get my point. 100 plus game hours for $12. Yeah, I always kind of like to use the movie ticket scale. I'm going to cost me probably $10 to go see a movie. So anything I can get under $10 that lasts me more than 2 hours, I'm going to put it. But we're going to at 100 or so with this, I'm going to guess. So definitely good value here. But we're going to ding them, just like I said, just because it is over that $10 mark. But other than that, graphics, like I said, the voice acting, the music in the background, and the storyline, as you can see, I think it's all really, really well done. And I think it'd be really hard to hit a finer note on this type of game than what they've done here. So we are going to give this one actually a 9.5 out of 10. So a very high rating, actually the highest tower defense game that we've rated so far. We've got Kingdom Rush, I think, came in at 9, and now you don't quote me on this, but I think War in a Box, Paper Tanks came through at something like an 8, somewhere in there. So this is of the 3 tower defense games, I would come back and choose this one 10 times out of 10 times. It is that good, and like I said, if we weren't strictly doing frugal gaming and said, listen, just pick me the best one you have, I would probably pay probably $20-$25 for this game, which is saying something, given that I do operate playfrugal.com. So high praise from us on this one. Tell us what you think. What did you see in the gameplay? What have you experienced in your own play of X-Morph Defense? Leave a comment below. As always, we do thank you for spending time with us and listening to our opinions on games, and hope that they are of some use to you in deciding whether or not to pick it up for yourself. Thank you again for joining us, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, enjoy.